If there's one thing video games do, it's bring people together. People from all different walks of life can collectively gush over their favorite games and share stories with other people who are just as excited to hear them. We've all got a story to tell, and today, I'd like to share with you all some of my favorite stories involving the Mother series and camping, of all things, over the course of multiple camping trips. And for the sake of trying to keep this thing as cohesive as possible, I'm going to be combining these stories into one single narrative, as good as I can anyway. But, with that being said, let's finish this thing. If there's one thing you gotta know about me, it's that underneath the exterior of a keyboard warrior lies the beating heart and soul of a man of the woods. While I do spend a lot of my time sitting behind a computer screen, I live for the moments where I get to put it all away and go for a walk in the great outdoors. And because I love the great outdoors so much, it's safe to assume that I would love to go camping too. And you'd be right on the money, honey bun. Camping with my dad, even after almost 19 years of life, still remains to be one of my fondest memories I have growing up as a kid. The trees that scraped the summer sky, the beaches riddled with rocks and stones, the public restroom, which was kind of at the center of everything. It was like the lifeblood of the campsite where everybody would meet in the morning and wash their ass and talk about the weather or something. While I haven't been there in quite a long time, I still consider this place to be a home away from home. So where does Earthbound exactly fit into all this? Well, during my final few times visiting this little slice of heaven, the Mother series was just starting to enter my life. 2 months prior, I had just beat Earthbound for the very first time, and my excitement for the series was growing day by day. But little did I know, and pretty much everyone else for that matter, that a toy would shock the world by releasing the original Mother on the Famicom for the first time ever in the West, under the new name of Earthbound Beginnings. Now, I was still pretty half chub after beating EB for the first time, but this changed things. I don't know if it was the hype or just being up there that sparked this in me, but all of a sudden I was overcome with this serious urge to delve deep into the lore of this series, much more than any other game series before it. I learned about Mother 3's harsh development and how it went from an N64 disk drive game to what we now know as Mother 3 for the Game Boy Advance. I read up on Tomato's fan translation and all the just the crazy amount of hard work, time, and dedication he put into this project. This, and something else we'll get into later, really showed me how devoted the fans of this series truly are. I also got the masked man's identity spoiled to me by some tool who comments, and a bunch of periods at the end of everything he posts. Thanks, bud, I appreciate you ruining the story for me, but whatevs, it's cool. But besides that, I absolutely loved doing this. It was like 2 decades worth of history at my fingertips, and I'd be damned if I let any stone remain unturned. But this didn't even scratch the surface as to what I was about to discover. Now, I was aware of the trilogy at this point, Earthbound, Earthbound Beginnings, and Mother 3 respectively. And naturally, I wanted to know, where would the series go from here? People were saying that Mother 3 was where everything ended, like that was the general consensus all across the board. But as I read these, I thought to myself, well, that's not true. If that was truly the case, then what's this about? This was my introduction to the Mother 4 project, and where my hype levels were about to hit ludicrous speed. I'm not even kidding you. This shit blew my polka-dotted panties off. The visuals looked on par, if not greater, than anything Mother 3 produced. The character designs took elements from all 3 games and made them just as memorable and likable. The story seemed to be vague and mysterious, just how I like my Earthbound done, and the gameplay trailers put all of this into action, solidifying my complete and utter faith in the developers, and just, oh my god, I couldn't wait to play the game that year. But there was one aspect that truly captured my heart, in every sense of the word, and that was some of the music tracks that were released at the time I found out about the game. I usually like scripting things when I make my videos, but for this section alone, I'm just going to be talking straight from the heart because goddamn did I fall in love with these tracks. Like, I could go into detail about them for hours, but it's just so nice to be able to just realize that not everything is in the limelight yet. There are people with unheard of levels of talent out there still trying to make a name for themselves, and it's really cool to see a fan project such as this, and the quality as it is, receive such an incredible soundtrack. So to the composer, man, I hope you go places, because this shit is incredible. To further add on to this, we'd have a campfire just about every single night. And as soon as we all sat down with our lounge chairs and got the marshmallows going, I'd bust out these songs, look into the night sky, and just vibe for the rest of the night. The more I listen to these songs, the closer I feel to these memories, and that's some cool stuff right there. What I wouldn't give to go back to these times. All of these stories mean a lot to me, but there's one I've been saving until the tail end of this video, and the one that kind of gets me in the feels trip. The final camping trip I ever went on was filled with a lot of rainy days, and while we really couldn't do anything outside because of it, we would still make the most of the situation and sit under the tarp and listen to the rain for as long as we could. Apparently, a really bad storm tore through our campsite just a little bit before we got there, and in its place laid an opening of fallen trees that were scorched by lightning. But ever since I saw it, I wanted to see what lied at the center of it, what was in there. Because, and I kid you not, I thought it would be like my very own Your Sanctuary location from Earthbound. I was a dumbass kid, so you can judge all you want, but I was excited. So one day, during a pretty bad thunderstorm, I looked at my dad and I asked him, "Hey Dad, can I go down there and check it out, see what's up?" And to be honest, I was expecting just a soul-cutting no. Like, it was storming out really hard, there was lightning and stuff, a lot of thunder, all that sort of thing. But what he told me when I asked him that question has stuck with me ever since. I don't quite remember the exact verbiage of what he said, but it was something along the lines of, "You only get so many moments like this in your lifetime, so go for it, son. Just be safe." This was huge, because I've always been kind of hesitant to try new things, because, I don't know, I've been afraid of screwing up and not being perfect, and if I mess up, then people are going to yell at me and be disappointed. But to have my dad not only give me the okay to try doing this on my own, but having faith in me that I could do so, that was, good stuff. Real good stuff, man. So I went down there. I got past all the fallen trees and the broken branches, and when I finally did get to the center, my heart was filled with an overwhelming sense of happiness because I knew for the first time I had really done something on my own without being afraid of messing up. And from that moment on, I knew that I'd really never forget this point in my life. I know it doesn't sound like a whole hell of a lot. I mean, ooh, look at him. He walked to the center of a torn up forest. Good for you, boy. But the meaning behind this moment, the feelings I felt were real, and they meant a lot to me. And to be honest with you, that's good enough for me. So there you go. Those were my Earthbound camping stories. I really hoped you liked everything I talked about today. I know it's kind of hard to get into when they weren't really your memories, but if you made it this far, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thanks for just listening and spending this moment with me. I really do appreciate it. And with that, I mean, we did it. We're at the end of the month of Mother. I can actually say that this time because I couldn't really finish the first one. I got really stressed out and messed up, and I won't lie, I had kind of a hard time finishing this too. as much as I like to give you guys the stuff you want, there comes a point where I kind of burn myself out, especially when it comes to talking about a series like Earthbound, where it's, I don't know, it's just a lot. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this to the extent that I was hoping. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed. And with that being said, it looks like we're about done here. So again, to every single one of you guys who's tuned in, thank you, and until next time, guys, keep on keeping on.